Hi friends, my name is Verna Mullen. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from stampinnotes.com, and I have a really cute Christmas card to share with you. This is made using the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, and also the Pine Tree Punch and the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. The Pine Tree Punch and the Perfectly Plaid stamp set are a bundle. If you buy them together, you save 10%. I love the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper that we're using. It is a beautiful paper that's photographic on one side, and if you flip it over, it has silver embossing on it. Love that one. And so what I've done is I've used one piece and cut it to use both sides, so you can see both sides, the silver layer and the photographic. So what I've started with is a piece of Seaside spray cardstock. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I have layered on a piece of Whisper White for the mat. It's 5 1/4 by 4, and that's this piece right here. Also, I am using a piece of the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. This was one piece that I cut down. The silver side is 2 by 4 3/4, and the photographic side is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these two pieces together. And what I've done, so that they fit on here nicely, I've pre-measured and I've scored. You can see a light score mark here at the 1 inch mark. And then I will know where to lay this piece of paper on that. Let's get rid of these little tags. I also forgot I have a piece for the sentiment that's 4 by 1. So I am going to, this is going to be on this side, and where this score mark is, I'm going to line that up right along there and lay my piece on there, and then I know it will fit nicely on the mat. So I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue and just run it down the edge of this. Just enough to, you don't have to use a lot of glue on this, just enough to make this adhere. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now before I adhere this, the reason I wanted to put those together is because I want to wrap my Seaside spray ribbon around that. That's this piece here. And we're going to make these little tails. I'll show you a fast way to make them. So I have about probably a 7-inch piece of ribbon. I'm going to put it around, I'm going to bring a tool, and you could use a pen or anything. And I'm going to put it around a round instrument, which I've chosen this. And I'm going to tie it and then make a knot. Okay, so I'm going to slide it off there. And now I'm going to cut that, and that's going to make our little tails. There's the scissors. Oops, we're going to cut this. Now we have our little tails. I'm just going to pull that tight. And I'm going to put it about probably right here. So I am just going to actually use Scotch tape to adhere this down to the back temporarily. Actually, I'm going to slide it up here a little farther. Regular old Scotch tape. All right, we're going to tape that down. I'm going to pull this across, tape that down there. And I didn't get that pulled tight enough. There we go. I'm going to cut some of this off. I don't need all this on here. All right, so this looks like this now. And I will probably put a glue dot under here just to anchor that down. So we've got our little tails. And now we're going to do some, well actually I think I will go ahead and put this on the card base. All right, let's see if this looks right. And this needs to come down a little bit. About like that, I think. I gotta look at it instead of looking at it upside down. Okay. All right, so this is what we've got so far. Now we're gonna do some stamping. And I'm bringing in my tree stamp. And we're gonna do all of this in Night of Navy. All right, so you can see that on the inside of this one, there's a tree, and we're gonna go ahead and do our inside piece, Merry Christmas, and stamp the tree. And I'm also going to use with the photopolymer stamps, it's best if you stamp on some kind of a cushion, and this is a Stampin' Up! Piercing tool mat, and my Whisper White cardstock for the inside. I'm going to stamp it on the piercing tool mat, and this is great because with the photopolymer stamps you need a little bit of a cushion to stamp. We're going to ink up our tree in Night of Navy. We'll put it down at the bottom. Okay, that looks pretty good. And we need another tree to punch out. So go ahead and do that. Can't remember which way. Yes. Let's stamp it upside down on this end, I think. All right, 2 trees are done. And we need Merry Christmas. Let's see. I think that looks about right. Okay. So our inside is done. And we'll put that in our card. So we have a lot of snow, well, more snow than we usually have in November here in Western New York. It is beautiful out. The trees are just still loaded with snow, and a lot of people lost electricity, actually. All right. And that looks about right, I think. There's our inside. Got something sticky there. Now we need to finish our front. So we're going to punch out this tree with our tree punch. And I did cut this the wrong way. So I'm going to stick a piece of, I'm going to use a piece of sticky Post-it to hang on to it in the punch here. Move it around. Okay. There's our tree, our blue plaid tree. And we need a piece of silver for our silver tree. All right, I have a piece of silver for the silver tree that's going to go on the front. Our silver foil. And what I did on this card was I glued both of them. I didn't use dimensionals. on either of them. So we'll put a little glue on the back of this. And turn him over. I'm thinking about right there. And we're gonna put the blue one on, layer that on that one. About like this. Isn't that cute? And we'll add some rhinestones in a minute. And now for our sentiment, we're gonna take the 1-inch piece. I think this is 4 by 1, and I need to stamp the sentiment. Again, we're using Night of Navy. This special season, be wrapped in love and joy. And I'm going to come in with my paper snips. If you don't have paper snips, you need paper snips. They are great scissors. And I have even used them to trim fabric. I love to quilt and sew, and they're sharp and they do a great job. All right, if you've never done this, you're gonna cut up the center, and then we're going to cut from the corner to that center to get our tails. Just like that. And now this I'm going to put on with dimensionals because it'll pop it up a little bit. The dimensionals are like a little bit of foam, whoops, and then they have a little paper backing you have to peel off, like so. There. Now let's see if we can get this centered. I think that probably looks about right. We'll pull our tail up here. I need to stick a glue dot down there. I'm going to add, oh, it's a little crooked. All right, I'm going to just move that a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to add a couple rhinestones, and these are from the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and I love the colors in these. They're really, really pretty. Green, dark blue, like a jade green, a red, and a gold. And they have a sticky backing, which is wonderful. You don't have to monkey with glue. And I'm going to use my Take a Pick tool and just pull it off there. We're going to put one there. And I'm going to put 1 or 2 on the tree. I think I will put one here. Maybe I'll do like 3 of them. One there. And one down here. And that's it. Fast, easy, and cute card. Here's our outside, and we open it, and you could even do rhinestones on the tree in there. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great evening.